I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. My name is David Groves, as one of your hosts, and with me as always is Neil McKay. How you doing?
What is happening?
We are back in 99. We are back in 99 for another couple episodes. This is a big one. Big movie.
Which one?
I'm pretty sure it's called The Matrix. Have you heard of it?
No.
Never seen it?
No? Can't say how.
I would imagine you probably disregard the two sequels and even the other one that came out a few years ago.
I would like to say the fourth one doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't know though. They kind of, I think the studio was gonna make it whatever, and
yeah, of course.
Only one of the Wachowskis, I think the other one did it, right? And they were just like, and the hell with it. We're like, if the studio is gonna make a mess of this thing, we'd rather be involved. So, but today we're talking about the first one. I don't know why we're talking about the fourth one.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not. I don't want to get
talking
into
about
the sequels. It's all about the first one, the one that everybody loved, that everybody was enamored by.
I've seen this before. I'm just joking. I've seen this multiple times. I mean, this is in the conversation for one of the best sci-fi movies, if not. I mean, it could be the best of all time, I think. But
it's up there. I would agree.
It's up there. It's definitely in my top 3, top 5 of 99. It's probably my top 10 of all time. I mean, this is a fantastic movie.
Top 10. Okay, yep.
I would put this really high in my list.
I would put it high too.
Because it's not just like, I mean, sci-fi's fun and all. You know, like, I mean, I'm not knocking Star Wars, but I mean, Star Wars is just a simple, like, hey, story for everybody. This one kind of goes, whoa, like, you know, this is a head trip and it makes you think. And I'm curious now. I mean, this is 25 years ago, but you know, now, or 26 years ago rather. But now with the advent of AI and everything, it's like, this is the Matrix warned us about this stuff. So
yeah. Well, I think that's also kind of an interesting place to start. I mean, look, you have a movie that is one of the few in any genre, I would say, that can mix the sci-fi with, they did, obviously, of course, invented the whole bullet time and the VFX and the martial arts action and the costumes and mood and kind of having it kind of be this noirish graphic novel. But it's also a little bit funny. It has some comedy in there, and the philosophy. A lot of people would say that there is this philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely. Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, like, I mean, halfway through, I was like, "Whoa, this is like way more, you know, head makes you think than I thought."
Yeah, very
true. I was going in for a fun ride too, and then it was like, "Whoa, wait a minute."
Free your mind.
This is kind of trippy, well, you know, messing with your consciousness and what's real and what's not. Did you see it? So you saw it in the theater then, I assume?
So I saw it. Yeah, I actually saw it in the theater twice. I think I saw it when I was still in high school. I think it came out when I was still in high school in 99, in April or March or
came out. I think it came at the end of March.
It was the first DVD I bought when a DVD system was available. I think in like 2000, 2001.
That's just crazy. I'm just thinking like DVDs were like relatively new. This is like, now they're like fossils, but
now exactly.
It's like nobody.
Now they just sit on people's shelves, just like mine, as you've been to you know, lived at the apartment, and they do kind of sit there. Everything went truly digital. But it's funny. That was like the one thing, because I was like, I loved behind the scenes, and I loved having all that stuff. And that's what DVDs kind of opened up. And it's funny. It's cool that The Matrix, as the sci-fi kind of that futuristic type movie, going into a new technology with not just, you know, Laserdisc, VHS, kind of was the forefront.
Yeah, and it was like you said, it kind of introduced, bullet time. That was like a brand new thing. So I saw it. I'm sorry. I mean, the first I had ever heard of it was they were running Super Bowl spots, like those little 30-second ads, and I saw it, and I'm ashamed to admit that when I saw the spot, I was like, this looks stupid. Like what, a Keanu Reeves like. And then like they always ended the spot with like where he's doing the backwards thing and the bullets are going over him, that shot, and you hear Lawrence Fishburne going, I can't explain the Matrix, you just have to see it for yourself or something like that. And I was just like, this looks dumb. And so then it came out like a month later or 2 months later or whatever it was, and then I saw it at the theater, and within like the first like 3 minutes I was like, oh, I was wrong about this is fantastic.
Oh, it definitely has one of the cooler openings.
Just as soon as you see Carrie-Anne Moss do that thing, I was like, what? And then what is going on? And then I was like, immediately, like, this is badass. So,
well, again, it was one of those movies too that I think, because The Crow is so intimate. I like the graphic. I like the kung fu stuff. I like action stuff. It kind of hit me on all those levels.
Yeah, just very cool. Just across the board, just very cool visuals, just with the Matrix code itself. I mean, that's like a font now that you still see. I mean, everybody looked so badass with the suits and the sunglasses and stuff. And it was just, I mean, those special effects were nuts, man. I guess they kind of hold up. I mean, some of the stuff in the sequels don't really kind of look.
Oh, it absolutely does. I mean, look, and again, the sequels are their own thing. And I mean, of course, some of the action stuff in the second one with the highway chase scene.
Those twins, that's amazing scene.
Literally the only thing I think anybody remembers from
the second one. Yeah, that was killer.
And I don't think anybody remembers anything really from the third one other than Neo isn't really in this until like later.
Yeah, well, they remember the KFC guy at the end. Remember the architect, like Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, like sitting there, like, you are a construct.
Yes, trying to truly tap into that. I don't know. I guess Jesus creationism type thing. So much about that, and I won't go into any of that stuff. I try to stick with I actually didn't mind the sequels. I didn't think they were as good as, even close to as good as the first ones. But I don't know. Are you one of those people that are just like garbage, awful, terrible, or would you be like, they had their moments though?
The second one for sure, I liked a good deal, but not as good as the second. But I did not like the last one because it was kind of like, the first one to me just felt like you didn't need any more, and then the third one just didn't seem like, okay, if you're going to do a trilogy, this is the ending you're going with. It's sort of like, So I wasn't. I guess a fan.
It might have felt like one of those movies where the first one kind of leaves it open, but at the same time, you could tell maybe even the Wachowskis themselves weren't really sure that they were going to get like a sequel or hey, you need to make
it was kind of it was kind of a strange, because they had done, what was it, Bound with Gina Gershon, and which was like, this was a very like different kind of thing, and I was like, okay, cool, and then it was like a lot of money invested in it, so it was kind of like I don't know how they got the studio.
That was their showcase movie to, I guess, the studios. I think I've read that or seen behind the scenes that Bound was sort of their, I guess, kind of love letter to more of a noirish crime drama.
Yeah.
And they pulled it off, and the actors, and I guess with the money. And again, I think this kind of goes into some of the book that I read about with Fight Club, and I mentioned that. And this was truly their, hey, just let us do this one. And the Matrix was kind of waiting in the wings because they knew they needed the money for that. They couldn't just make that on nothing.
Yeah, it just still was kind of surprising that based on Bound alone, they were able to do something of this. I mean, because this was like,
money was flowing back then, baby. Money was flowing.
I mean, I guess it just seemed like, man, this was kind of a ballsy, leap of faith that the studio had. I mean, because this was like a Warner Brothers, like, big budget movie. And they were putting, and I feel like at the time, I mean, now it's kind of like John Wick and everything. Like, Keanu Reeves is like, he could do no wrong almost. But at the time, I feel like he was not that like. I mean, it was like we don't know about Keanu.
He actually didn't want to be a part of franchises. Remember too, he after Speeds, the movie Speed with Sandra Bullock in '94 became so popular, he actually walked away from probably buku bucks, a lot of money for the sequel because he didn't want to be a part or attached to that type of thing.
Yeah,
and changed his tune a little later, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like other than like Speed, like he kind of I feel like had kind of in the '90s like a hit or miss resume where it was like, ooh, you're kind of putting a lot of trust to bank on him for this. Well, and then Will Smith was, I guess, supposed to be the Neo, right. And then he said no, and then Keanu got it, and then because of that, Lawrence Fishburne got Morpheus, but I think that was like somebody else that was the original choice.
But hey, I mean, this is a monumental movie, huge movie, did wildly well. I'm sure there's so many other videos on YouTube, so many other things that people have said about this. It's like it's hard for me to like, do you know this or do you know this or have you ever heard this? And people might be like, "Ooh, I never knew that." I feel like we're just kind of like
it's kind of like everybody.
Going, we're just giving it its due, giving it everybody. Like, hey, we loved it too.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it is just, I'm just thinking of the amount of times I've seen it. Like, I could still watch it again and be like, oh man, I was like, I mean, some of the stuff is just, it's still cool, you know?
Yeah, it's still iconic, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Back in 99. We are doing one more, and then an honorable mentions of 99 movies we're not doing just full-on things for. So the next one will be the final one. But thanks so much for watching this one, and we'll see you again.